Welcome back to Nightcap Chat, the pop culture podcast. We talk all things comic books, video games, movies, TV shows, and more. Today we are talking pop culture modes of transportation. I'm Blade O'Neill.
I'm Ken Brown.
I'm Lance O'Neill.
All right, so we did an episode that was similar to this before, where we talked about pop culture cars. But today we're doing different modes of transportations. And for those of you just now joining us, thank you all for coming in, listening. Without your support, Nightcap Chat wouldn't be here. So we really appreciate that. This is our 50th episode. We just had our 1 year anniversary, but now we're on episode 50.
Big episode.
Yeah. So without you guys, we would not have gotten this far. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen, sharing our podcast, liking it, leaving those reviews. Without you, we couldn't do it. So thank you all so much. We got Ken Brown, owner of Drawn to Comics, with us. He's one of our main hosts here. They're on social media.
Thank you guys for having me again.
Yeah. Drawn to Comics on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and on eBay. You got to support this local business, especially if you're in Arizona. I mean, you can get your comic book fix, on eBay, as we get through the next few weeks of isolation here.
Yes.
I'm ready. I'm ready for this, for the modes of transportation. Are you ready?
Modes of transportation. So you said this was your baby. So
this is my baby. Yeah. So I think the first thing we should start with is Star Wars.
I love Star Wars.
Because I think Star Wars, part of like the beauty of it was the different, how they just came up with all these different vehicles.
Yeah.
And as a child, you just fell in love with it, and it added to the mystique. It wasn't just about the lightsabers and the Force. That's all great, but it was also the vehicles. And I feel like we always talk about the characters and all that stuff and what the Force means. And even with the Marvel stuff, we always talk about the characters, but there's no love for the vehicle.
You're right, but like the vehicle is one of my favorite things.
100%, mine too.
TIE Fighter is like my favorite thing. That's probably one of the reasons why the TIE Pilot is like my favorite kind of trooper.
Right. I agree. I love TIE Fighters, the whole concept. But I'm going to give you one of my favorite Star Wars vehicles. Okay. And it's kind of weird. I've been thinking about it, and I don't even know like why I like it so much. It's really weird. And my favorite Star Wars vehicle for me is the Y-Wing.
I thought your favorite was going to be the X-Wing. That kind of surprises me.
So I knew you would think that, but it's probably because like as a kid, I always had the X-Wing, ship, little toy, and I'd fly it around because there was no Y-Wing. There was no Y-Wing. There was no love for the Y-Wing.
Yeah.
There was no Y-Wing toy, really. There was no
yeah, there
poster.
was, actually.
There was?
Yeah, it was for Return of the Jedi. They put it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
I never got it, I guess. So I'm upset about that. Now my childhood's a lie. But the Y-Wing is my favorite. And I don't know why. Like, I look at it and I couldn't tell you by looking at the Y-Wing, like, why is this my favorite? I honestly don't know. There's just something. Why? Yeah.
Why? I
don't know. For me, that's my favorite. At least for the Rebel side. So Blade, I don't know. What is your favorite?
I love the TIE Fighter. A TIE Fighter tattoo is like what I want like on my arm to represent Star Wars. Like that's how much I love the TIE Fighter. Like I would get it tattooed. I'm a member of the 501st Legion. The first costume I'm putting together is a TIE Reserve pilot in order to get to just a TIE pilot costume. Because plus on top of the TIE Fighter, you get to be pretty much a black stormtrooper. I mean, the armor's black, like that's awesome. I mean, but like you said, like, I don't know what the appeal is, but it's a little bit of everything. Like it must be part of the kind of mystique of, you kind of first, you see Star Wars, but it's more than just the visuals. It's the sounds too, like,
yes.
Yeah. Anyone knows like you can picture that screech. That's so good. What it, like, it's such a complete idea, and representation. I mean, yeah.
You know what I love? So I'm just going to mention this since we're on the TIE Fighter guy. Because my second favorite, especially for the TIE Fighters, is the TIE. I love the TIE Fighters, but I love the TIE Interceptor.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one that has it's like I don't know.
It's got like,
I don't know how to describe it.
Things.
It's pointy things. Yeah, it's pointy. It's just something about it is very nice.
They're pointy like Kylo Ren's TIE Whisperer that was featured in episode 9. So for those of you who don't know, how about you, Ken? What is your favorite Star Wars?
Oh man, I have different. Do you want me to go different eras? Like that said too, is that my very first one as a kid was obviously the speeder bikes.
Okay.
Because I loved watching the speeder bikes
like
race through Endor. With yes, especially like even an Ewok could drive a speeder bike.
Yep.
Awesome.
It's relatable. It's like, oh, Ewok can do what I can do.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the biker scouts I thought were the coolest looking scout armor.
They're
a really cool trooper.
And it was the full package. You had the cool, like you said, with the TIE Fighter pilot going with the TIE Fighter. When you think of speeder bikes, you think about biker scouts. And yeah, they're not the smartest stormtroopers, but they're sure the most fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love the outfit. And Deadly Leaf, I see you said the floaty snowmobile. That's actually, I was going to mention that. The air speeders, I love those.
Yes.
The air speeders were so cool. I don't know if it was just because I love Hoth so much and the snow planet and that whole thing, but the air speeders were really fun and unique. And I was actually looking at them from like above, because I was going through all the different Star Wars before we came on this, because I didn't want to leave anything out. But they look a lot like an A-wing, and I hate A-wings.
Oh, really?
They're my least favorite Star Wars vehicle, but I love the air speeder. So it's really weird how that works out.
The snow speeders have the tow cable that are able to trip the walkers.
Yes,
as we saw in episode 5. So like I think part of the appeal of the snow speeders is like they're taking out these giant walkers that are just here to ruin everything, but then they figured out to do the tow cable thing to trip them. And it's all good. And if you're into more than just the movies, if you ever played some of the Star Wars games, you get to do that in games like Rogue Squadron, I think even Battlefront.
And that was super fun in the video games.
It's so much fun to be able to sit there, throw your tow cable, and then just go around and you get to trip the walker.
It was actually kind of hard. Because like if you took the turn too tight, you died. You crashed right into it and you never tripped it. And you died. It was fun.
Yeah. Especially when you're like 8, and
you're just bad at video games.
And speaking of AT-ATs, dude, those things were freaking awesome to watch move around on the screen too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like the Trojan horse of the Star Wars saga. You know what I mean? But everybody saw it coming.
Yeah.
But they didn't know how to stop it. And luckily the snow speeders were the things, like I said too, the intelligence of just like hog tying it was like really, really fun to see in a space setting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That the snow speeders being that creative too. Okay, we just gotta, tie it up and trip it. Very, very
the fact so cool.
The walkers are awesome. And the fact that they were defeated by something so simple.
Yeah.
But they still couldn't. You blast it with whatever, and it was just like, I'm fine. But they actually did it really well. It was actually kind of cool.
And not just I honestly get the AT-ATs and the AT-STs mixed up, and I don't know which one is which, but like both of the walkers.
Yeah, the ST's got 2 legs and the AT's got 4 legs.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I think they're both really cool.
Yeah.
I like the AT-AT more though, I'd say.
The 4
legs. I would say
I liked the AT-ST. If that you said that's the 2-legged one, Ken?
Yes. Yeah, it's called chicken walkers. Our nicknames for them, right?
I like those ones. I don't know exactly why. I think I'm gonna go into the depths of my mind to figure out what my bias is. I think it's because when the Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition came out on VHS. VHS. Oh, Isis Slayer says AT-AT for life.
Yes.
I think it's because if you had the VHS copy, they had making of before the movie starts, and I would always watch it, and it fascinated me to see how they weren't puppets, but essentially they were like a little toy, but the way they filmed it, and like it seems such an accessible way to make special effects, and they added like all these logs, you know, to trip them. They had the Ewoks release logs to trip them. And I remember we had an old VHS home camera. And I think we mentioned before, we would like reenact certain scenes of Star Wars. So since the Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition came out, right, and they did these things, I remember I had an ATST toy, and you push the button and you made little legs move, and I had Lincoln Logs. So I made the Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition, and I put even more Lincoln Logs so that all these like more logs came and tripped to the ATST walker. And then I made the special edition, and then it was like an even more ridiculous amount of Lincoln Logs to trip
awesome.
the ATST walker.
Lincoln Logs were the best too, dude.
Thanks for the follow, Slevin.
Perfect for that. So you had your own Endor in your room, which was epic.
Yep, it was right on my bed with some Lincoln Logs.
You know what's funny about that? The other day, I found a picture that you took of me, and it was the same concept of when we were kids, you know, just trying to like reenact things.
Uh-huh.
So it was remember we had this little Hulk, little action figure, like a tiny one, or it could have even been a hero click.
Yep.
And I'm like going to punch it, and you have it like really close to the camera, so it looks like there's like this big Hulk in the room, and I'm trying to punch Hulk.
Yep.
I just found that the other day. I just figured I'd mention it because we were on that topic. But those little things were fun.
Yep. Yeah, I know exactly the picture you're talking about. I think I actually have a copy of it. I found it in a box the other day. Yeah, the walker is so much fun. Star Wars in general has so many fantastic vehicles. And they're, as fans of Star Wars, I think it's like not only fun to collect the toys, but if you're also into Legos, it's such a fun thing to build as a Lego. You know,
Did you see the new Lego set that just came out?
Which one?
The one that the most recent one. They came out with the A-Wing Lego set.
Oh, with you talking about like the Ultimate Edition or
yeah, it looks. I already said I don't like the A-Wing that much, but it's amazing. It looks awesome. I love it.
They did a bunch of those.
They did such a good job.
They did a bunch of those editions. There's a Ultimate Edition. I think they did a TIE Fighter and the Millennium Falcon. My wife, I think it was for Christmas, she got me the Vader's Castle Lego set.
That's awesome.
I'm really excited to build that, and it's huge. I know it's not a vehicle, little off topic, but I do.
It's modes of transportation. Remember, modes. It works.
Modes.
Yeah, my favorite Lego Star Wars one is the Imperial Shuttle. That looks awesome as a Lego set. One.
I had the Micro Machine set as a kid. That was really fun. I think I really like that because of Return of the Jedi.
Yes, it's kind of like the Maserati of spaceships.
You think so? Why is that?
It's because it's kind of like it's Palpatine's. It's kind of like it's the chic ship.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's supposed to be like your top of the line shuttle that travels. It's almost like it's a Rolls Royce of space shuttles, the way that they kind of present it.
Yeah, because whenever it's used, it's only used for the highest of like people.
Yeah, it's like it's an ambassadorship type of feel to it, or ambassador vehicle. Yeah, it's like that. You know, someone important's arriving when you see that ship show up, and it's like it's only that person, almost like Air Force One of the president. You know that the president's on the Air Force One when it comes in, and when you see that shuttle arrive, it's like, oh, Palpatine's here. Great, everybody be on your best behavior.
Palpatine's here. I want to say Vader had one, maybe Thrawn.
Yeah, he had his TIE bomber, didn't he?
Vader. Oh, you talking about Vader's TIE fighter? I don't think it was a bomber.
What was Vader's TIE fighter again? I'm trying to remember.
Darth Vader.
TIE Interceptor? No, that's something we talked about earlier. It was a TIE Interceptor, right? It had like, it's kind of almost like they had the straight up wings
TIE Advanced
for the regular TIE fighters, and he had like the what's it called again?
TIE Advanced.
TIE Advanced.
Mm-hmm.
And it had kind of like the angled wings, like it wasn't just straight. It had like
Star Wars. I think we could do episode on just the various Star Wars ships. Yeah, and oh gosh, Legos. Yeah, forget about it. Although I think Legos would better off be like a video version
Yes.
of the podcast.
Absolutely.
So I think the next thing then we got to move on to is the Marvel, right? Or Marvel or comics.
Ooh,
Best
yes.
comic vehicle modes of transportation, right?
Okay.
So for me, I'm gonna throw this one out there and see what you guys think.
Mm-mm.
What?
You're already wrong. Whatever it is.
Silver Surfer's board,
Okay. Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
I
right?
was not expecting
Like,
that.
think about like a great board that, I mean, there's power to it, you know, it's not just a vehicle. Like this thing moves on its own. It's something else. It's a whole nother level of a mode of transportation. And there's something, it's like simple, but unique at the same time. It's just like, oh, it's just a surfboard. Like really, but it's like cosmic and like, there's so much more to it than it's just a surfboard.
That's deep. I like that. It's super deep.
You know,
Damn, dude.
Silver Surfer's surfboard made me want to skateboard, and that's when I figured out I cannot skateboard. So I would just stand on it and pretend, because like I can't do it. So I can rollerblade. I can rollerblade like a Greek god, but I cannot use a skateboard. I don't.
How come when you said like a Greek god, it just made me think you're like in like booty shorts rollerblading?
Because I would. All right, Slevin mentioned the Spider-Mobile in chat.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I wanted to bring up the Spider-Mobile. Ken, is that your favorite Marvel vehicle of all time?
The spider buggy?
Yeah.
And that was the first thing that came to my mind, but my favorite one's the SR-71 Blackbird from the X-Men.
Yes, that one was mine. That one was
dude,
mine.
that thing was freaking epic, dude. He had a freaking stealth plane. Like, not that mutants need to fly around in it, but it was just so cool enough they wanted to go fly around in it.
But it also could go in space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was to me one of the coolest airplanes ever built, and to have like a real airplane actually in the Marvel universe being used as a mode of transportation for the X-Men. I thought that was like just super cool, dude. And it was like one of the fastest jets to ever be built, and it was just, I said, to go up into space. I mean, I don't know, it was obviously could host all the X-Men at one time in the vehicle, and they had some of the best conversations while they're flying around. I loved when Chris Claremont would just write conversation pieces with them when they're flying on their mission for like a page of panel work. It was so surreal and so intimate of a vehicle to use for a whole team to go around in such an awesome piece of machinery.
Professor IDK said Wonder Woman's invisible jet could kick the S out of X-Men jet.
Dude, was that the John Cena jet?
You can't see me. Is Wonder Woman's invisible jet in the current canon for Wonder Woman?
Oh,
she
I know.
can
It's like
fly
a
now.
I don't know.
Yeah, what do you need a jet for? Just to go invisible?
My favorite scenes of the invisible jet were on Super Friends. Where like Wonder Woman was flying in the invisible jet next to like Superman, and Batman had his like whatever Batman vehicle going to, and sometimes like Batman would be riding behind Wonder Woman like in the cockpit on Super Friends cartoon. It's cool. Just them sitting there with the outline of the jet around him, which I thought was like, this is kind of cool. This is pretty awesome.
You know what my favorite scene of the invisible jet is for me?
Is what?
Is in
Family Guy. Yeah.
In Family Guy.
Yeah.
When Superman flies by and she's like walking out of like I guess there's, supposed to be a bathroom, and he goes, I noticed you didn't use the invisible sink when you're
yeah, that's
awesome.
That's historical.
It's a funny little, yeah.
Slevin says Fantasticopter.
Ooh,
I will say, I think it was really neat in the second Fantastic Four movie, even though it was a Fox one, that they did the Fantasticar.
Yes.
I thought
that was cool.
That was pretty cool.
Did you guys ever see the Thanos helicopter from
the
Electric Company Spider-Man comic?
Doesn't it also say Thanos on it? Like on the helicopter?
I love how he gets to brand his own helicopter. It's like Air Force One, and it's Thanos copter.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So awesome.
So silly. Unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Xavier's wheelchair, Dark Phoenix.
Oh, Xavier's wheelchair.
Yeah, I
That's
guess that.
cool. Yeah.
The gold
one. The gold one. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, it's the Jim Lee one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're
How does Jim Lee make everything look awesome?
Yeah, he's
Party Wagon from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that's a good one.
Party
Wagon from Turtles.
I'm not familiar with that. Is that like their van or something?
Isn't that the oh my god, what's it called? Like the buggy, right? Am I wrong?
For
the
Teenage
van?
Mutant, it is a van, right?
It's a van.
I think it's like, it's almost like an A-Team van for Turtles.
I'm googling it. Okay, yeah, it's it's kind of an A-Team van, but to me it looks like it's like a Volkswagen buggy in some of its iterations. At least in this one that I'm looking at.
Well, if we're going cartoons, then why can't we go the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo?
I mean,
just like a basic van that people drove around in that just had a super cool paint job.
It's iconic, right? I mean,
it is iconic.
My first car was a van, so like I love vans. Like I would own vans forever. I'm like, you can fit all of your friends and drive around. Like, I mean, like, what more do you want?
Yes, dude.
To me, another vehicle that I love from the Marvel universe is Goblin's glider.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Oh, yes. Oh my god.
There's something about it. It's just so unique and beautiful. What a great design. And it doesn't even matter which one you're talking about. Goblin.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter. They're all great.
Yes.
They're all so good.
That's a good one too. I love that.
That makes me really want to see like a Green Goblin in the MCU based on the 616 version of Green Goblin, because I feel like it hasn't actually been done yet. Even though we've had Green Goblin, everyone's been so afraid of it, you know?
Right.
And I don't know why. I mean, like I kind of get it, but I mean, like it's a costume, and I think I want to say some of the Alex Ross art. I want to say it kind of looks like chainmail, right? And there's kind of like lenses for the yellow eyes. And I think if they kind of adapt something along the lines of that, I think it could be really interesting.
So if we're thinking out of the box when it comes to vehicles, would Iron Man's armor be considered a vehicle?
100%. It's a mode of transportation. And that's the greatest vehicle of all. I mean, the only thing I think you could say is better than that is War Machine. I'm not going to lie. Some of War Machine's armor, man, War Machine is so cool. Like just the guns and everything is just like, it's ridiculously over the top. It's awesome.
On that same note too, remember Box from Alpha Flight? The one that was Madison Jeffries' box where he could more or less make it into a transformer?
No.
Robot?
No.
Yeah, Madison Jeffries was this like robot inventor. And he created a upgrade for the Box. You ever see Box from Alpha Flight? What Walter Lankowski was stuck in the armor for a little bit. His soul was put in there after Sasquatch was killed by Snowbird.
No.
All kinds of Alpha Flight information that not many people know about. It's kind of stuff that's kind of like people talking Power Pack to me. I don't know enough about what they're talking about, unfortunately. As cool as Power Pack may be.
Power Pack versus the X-Men.
Yes.
We got a few chat things here. Oh my goodness.
Well, Slevin put up a good point. He said Spider-Man 3's Green Goblin snowboard glider thing. That was okay. Yeah. I would say that's definitely the weakest of all of them, in my opinion.
Professor IDK said that the Turtles van is like the Mr. Machine, but it smells like pizza and turtles.
Absolutely.
It's also Mystery Machine is like a poor man's version of Punisher's fan.
Nice, that's true, dude. It is.
Where was that? I don't even see that.
See what?
I missed that comment. Professor IDK is asking about Thor's hammer. Is that a mode of transportation?
Yeah, I say if you say Silver Surfer's board is a mode of transportation, yeah. Because he used to, I mean, especially even earlier in the Thor comics, they had him like ripping open portals from swinging it so fast and teleporting, and not just, and he can't fly. The only reason he can fly is because he throws the hammer. He's incapable of flight.
Spider-Man's web. I guess that's kind of a mode of transportation.
I mean, I guess.
You can move around with it.
You move around, yeah.
Punisher
What about-
van smells like blood and depression. Oh, thanks for that. What were you going to say, Ken?
About the Watchmen, Night Owls ship.
That was a cool ship. That was cool. I like Watchmen a lot. And I was really happy with how well the movie adapted the
Comic series.
The comics. Yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah,
go on.
I thought the movie ending was better than the comic ending, which is probably blasphemy for me to say that a bunch of aliens didn't come down to Earth to attack. It was actually Dr. Manhattan signatures, which was pretty epic. I thought the movie compared to the comic.
The movie was amazing.
Yeah, and it having Dr. Manhattan be like the cause of this destruction kind of tied the rest of the plot together. Like it almost did feel like it made more sense. Honestly, as surprised as I was that there weren't these like tentacle monsters or whatever they were. Yeah, I mean, like it was great and a fantastic cast. Especially with I'm saying what a fantastic cast it is, and I can't think of the guy who plays the comedian who played
yeah, dude, he's Negan.
Yeah.
Jeff. Oh my gosh, dude.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Thank you for that.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Thank you, dude.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Oh my gosh, what a perfect pick for the comedian. He brought, I mean, in as few scenes as he had in that whole movie, the amount of depth he had, like, unbelievable.
It was awesome.
He is such an underrated actor, in my opinion.
100%.
Even though people know who he is, like, I think he is completely underrated. He was fantastic as the comedian. He was fantastic as Negan. Like he was scary, you know, but like you believed it, and he was scary because he had such conviction in his way of thinking, and it also scared you because it also made sense to you, you know,
right?
Unbelievable.
Has he been in a Marvel movie yet?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
No.
Who would you cast him in a movie?
I like this. Who would I cast Jeffrey Dean Morgan? So we're talking about the Marvel Cinematic. Oh, I know, but go on.
I feel like for him, he would be like good, and it's probably because of the two of his biggest roles, right? That we just mentioned. You would have to cast him as and I'm not saying as this person, but as a Punisher-like character.
I know who he should play. Yeah. And before I say in the Marvel, Professor Eddie K said Batman. Go ahead. Professor Eddie K said Batman, and I want to address that real quick because Jeffrey Dean Morgan played Thomas Wayne in Batman versus Superman, which set him up to play Thomas Wayne Batman in a Flashpoint movie, which would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like Marvel movies. I know he's already been in like the DC movie, and they're talking about him being Flashpoint Batman, which would be epic.
You know who he would be perfect for within the MCU? I wonder if we're going to say the same thing. Because since Josh Brolin is already Thanos, I think he would be a great Cable.
Oh, that'd be cool. I could see him as Norman Osborn.
Oh.
Wow.
Wouldn't he be an awesome Norman Osborn since they haven't introduced him into the news?
Yeah, he would. He would, and he's a character that you like. Same thing as he was like in the comedian. You don't have him in there a lot, but he will give you that depth. He can present himself in that way of like a leader.
Can't you just see him screwing with Peter Parker and Harry Osborn of like, you're the son I always wanted.
And you want him in multiple movies. Yeah.
Yes. Just like how he kind of did with Carl type of thing, like always trying to, make that connection with Carl. That's I'm a better dad than your dad ever could be.
Ken,
with attitude.
Ken, you're gonna freak out. I think I'm gonna call it right now. You're gonna freak out. You gave me an idea. He would be a great Norman Osborn, but wouldn't you love to see him play Kraven the Hunter and see them adapt Kraven's Last Hunt?
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Come on.
Yes.
Come
on. Sick. He would be
I would
awesome
say that
too.
Talk about bringing depth to a character, like the whole Last Hunt story.
Little pig, come out now.
Little pig.
You know what they should do? You should have that line and then have him Spider Pig?
Yes, exactly. And he kills Spider-Ham. Yeah, he's on the next Spider-Man animated film. That's Craven. Little pig. Spider-Ham, what? That's prejudice. I need to shoot Spider-Ham right there.
All right,
Time for some pork chops tonight.
That's right. Spider pork chops.
Oh,
Yeah.
Professor IDK he said Whistler.
Whistler.
That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Name is Whistler.
In previous episodes, I really wanted Liam Neeson to play Whistler, as I've been abdicating for.
Which would be good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
I love how Deadly Leap. You know she's caught up because right before you said it, she said Blade 1's Liam Neeson.
Exactly. Already taken.
Oh my gosh. Professor IDK said, ew, I'm going to have to ban him or block him.
For what?
He said ew to Liam Neeson playing Whistler.
Oh. I see it here. But, yeah,
whoa, what happened? Who?
What?
Who did something?
I'm just kidding. I timed him out for a second.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. Deadleaf said, I'm a real fan because she knew I wanted Liam Neeson to play Whistler. Slevin says, I always thought Robert Sheehan would be a good Nova or even a Moon Knight. Slevin, I'm gonna have to Google.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look him up.
I'm Googling it. I'm being honest with you. Whoa, I don't know what just happened here. Oh, the guy who plays Claus in Umbrella Academy. That's what you're referring to for Nova or Moon Knight? I personally don't see him as Nova, but I could see him as Moon Knight.
I could see him as Moon Knight. Yeah. He's
a fantastic actor. And if you guys haven't seen Umbrella Academy, he plays a character called Claus. And he's one of the best parts of Umbrella Academy, at least the Netflix show. For sure. And I think in our St. Paddy's Day episode, we forgot to mention him. Because he's an Irish actor. He's Irish.
Did we mention him?
Did we mention him? I don't remember. I don't remember if we.
I think we did.
He's also great in Misfits Season 1. I'm not familiar with that. Liam Neeson hasn't had a good movie in years. Professor IDK. Just you wait till quarantine is over, man. I'm not mod.
What?
Bated breathless. Bated breath is a mod, and Lance is not a mod in his channel.
No, I'm yeah. Well, I just took it into my own hands. Yeah.
Santa. Misfits was really good. I'm in love with Dark Phoenix says I'm in love with Claus. Yeah, because that guy's a great actor. His name is not, something I'm super familiar with top of mind, but yeah, he is fantastic. I definitely see him pulling off Moon Knight. I think that's a fantastic choice.
So back over to the vehicles really quick. Speaking of characters, but speaking of the characters, we do have a character who's hopefully going to be in an upcoming Marvel movie, and this vehicle will hopefully be coming to us on the big screen, and that's the Scuttlebutt, which could possibly be in the next Thor movie, right? Because there's rumors of Beta Ray Bill maybe. So what is your guys' opinion of the Scuttlebutt?
The Scuttlebutt. What is that? Beta Ray Bill's ship or something?
Yeah, Beta Ray Bill's ship, the Scuttlebutt.
I can't even picture it right now. I feel bad.
Yeah. I can't. The Scuttlebutt. Butts like B-U-T-T?
I think it's B-U-T-T.
Ray Bill. I'm Googling it. I'm not familiar
so
with
what about
that.
Cosmic
It's like
Ghost
Star Wars
motorcycle then. And speaking of like space vehicles.
Mm-hmm. So before I mention the Cosmic Ghost Rider, the Scuttlebutt looks like a Star Wars ship.
Yes, it does. It has a very Star Wars-esque feel.
But like this is the first I've even heard of it, so like, that's all I have to say.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm not familiar with it, or I missed it. Scuttlebutt sounds like a pirate ship name, I think is what Professor IDK says, and Slevin says, "Oh, great ship." Wow, I missed.
Okay.
Missed what Scuttlebutt is.
I remember watching. He was in a. It was in an episode of one of the Avengers. It was him, Sif, and Thor, and he was on the Scuttlebutt, and they brought it to life in that, and it was so cool and unique. I don't know. I thought the ship was cool.
You know, with rumors of Beta Ray build popping up soon, like we might see this in Guardians 3.
Yeah, that's
for sure. Especially with the way Thor is involved with Guardians now. I would be very surprised. And I'm sure with Taika Waititi involved, they'll call it the Scuttlebutt, and Rocket and Drax will make fun of its name or something, because I think it's going to end up being kind of ridiculous like that. Ken, what did you bring up? I already forgot.
The Ghost Rider, Cosmic Ghost Rider.
I love Ghost Rider. I like Ghost Rider anything. I don't care about motorcycles, awesome. But like a flaming motorcycle, I mean, like that's pretty cool.
Until you put Nicolas Cage on it, right?
Until you put Nicolas Cage on it. And I see all these people online. I said this 2 episodes ago. People wanting Keanu Reeves to play Ghost Rider are like, what is that?
Stop.
Why? No. Please. Like, I love Ghost Rider. I don't want Keanu Reeves to play Ghost Rider. You know who I want to play Ghost Rider? Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yes, you know what I was gonna say. That would be awesome. That's who I want to see play Johnny Blaze. You know,
he would make an awesome Johnny Blaze.
Yes,
it's a good call.
Yeah,
dude, yeah. As soon as you said that, I'm going, oh, this is totally Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah. That's what I want to see.
Right? You know, the chain around, like it's Lucille.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he would be
hilarious.
Like that's the kind of diverse actor, you know, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is. Like, he can play all these things.
Awesome. Mephisto, come out and play.
Mephisto, let me in. Give me that Zarathos demon.
Yes, dude. Yes, Zarathos or whatever.
Dark Phoenix agrees that he would be awesome for Johnny Blaze.
And then you have Mephisto played by what's his name, right?
By yes, I know you're gonna say the guy from Scarface, right? Oh my gosh, Tim. No, not Tim.
It'd be hilarious.
That's not what I was gonna say.
You weren't gonna say that.
It'd be hilarious to see Andrew Lincoln play Mephisto in the reversal.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Kind of like, let's just create rivalries across.
Al Pacino.
Yeah. I guess we were talking about. Yeah.
I'm Mephisto.
Wow. I can see Jack Nicholson play Mephisto too.
Jack Nicholson play Mephisto. Interesting.
Keanu Reeves would be a good Mephisto. I don't think I would mind it as much.
He suits Mephisto better.
He could. Sure. He looks like he would look. He kind of looks the role. That's for sure. Especially if you're going for like a younger, looking Mephisto. And obviously Al Pacino.
Yeah, absolutely. And any of you guys who watch, like, I'll hate on Keanu Reeves, but I have to admit, like, I really liked him as Constantine.
Yeah, it was actually really good.
Like I don't understand why more people don't like that movie, but like I actually really enjoyed it. And I've watched it several times. Slevin brings up that Pacino was already the devil in Devil's Advocate. That's a fantastic point. I didn't even think about that. That's
so we can do it.
Interesting. Yeah, he absolutely could do it. I wasn't even thinking
like a younger.
Those terms.
What about like a Jesse Eisenberg as a young Mephisto?
No way.
No way.
No.
Just he's a little bit diabolical in how he acts sometimes.
You think I want to see Jesse Eisenberg play I lost it. The Hulk's little buddy.
Rick Jones?
Thank you. Rick Jones.
Johnson?
That's who I see Jesse Eisenberg playing. And I know that's completely Slevin said Eisenberg is already the devil when he played Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's what I was thinking, like that. He's so cerebral and he thinks almost like in an autistic manner. when he acts.
Interesting.
Like when he's like Lex Luthor, when he's obviously in Zombieland, and then as you just said, is Zuckerberg. He's got like such a higher level of thinking that he portrays when he acts.
I mean, at that point, though, if he's going to be a villain, like I'd rather see him be someone like Dr. MODOK. Not quite Doom. Like something MODOK, maybe even the leader. If we really didn't have what's
I think you could see him as somebody weird, like the Molecule Man.
Molecule Man.
Oh, Molecule Man would be perfect for him too. That's a good call.
Yes.
I like Molecule Man. He's very Molecule Man.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree with that. All right. So we strayed once again from vehicles.
You know what I love about all this? Not one mention of a Batmobile through this whole conversation.
Wow.
You notice that? I was going like, who's going to mention the Batmobile? Someone's going to mention the Batmobile. Someone's going to mention the Batmobile.
I mean,
and then it's going to be which Batmobile's the best Batmobile.
I know which Batmobile is the best Batmobile.
What is that?
It's got to be the 89 Tim Burton one, right?
Oh man, what about the 66 Batman 66 Lincoln Futura?
I mean, I think we're all going to be biased to the first one we saw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, because I feel like I agree.
You feel like you agree with what? You cut out for me.
With you.
Yeah, I like
Batman 89.
Yeah.
That is an epic Batmobile.
Wasn't that a modified Corvette or something like that?
I think so. I think it was a Corvette chassis. They just built the frame over a Corvette chassis.
I think so too. I love that Batmobile. You know, like when I was a kid and I was really into Batman, like that was the Batmobile in my mind. That and like the 90s animated series Batmobile.
Yeah.
And then since the Christopher Nolan Batmobiles, like it was cool to see the Tumbler. Like I feel like we never got away from it because even when they brought on Ben Affleck, they were still doing this bulky thing, and I wanted it to be a car again. You know,
right?
Went away from being a car to like a tank.
Yeah,
or like a modified Hummer type of thing to it.
Which I get it, but like I wanted it to be like, to me, Mobile is like a car.
Right. Another thing I haven't heard anybody bring up is Transformers. Is that the ultimate like vehicle character right there?
Well, is it a vehicle or is it its own like living thing?
It's a transformer.
You know what I mean? It's you know what I mean? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The best of both worlds. Like Optimus Prime's the rig or what?
Yeah.
But is getting into like Optimus Prime's car any different than like jumping on Thor's back?
Yeah.
And Thor carrying you. You know what I mean? Because it's a character.
I mean, if you're talking about Optimus Prime, but when he's the truck,
he's still Optimus Prime.
But you can drive him. You can drive him. You know?
I don't know. I'm just trying to get deep, you know?
Yeah, it's like Turbo Team. Like you're your own vehicle and you're a car and a person. Do you remember Turbo Team?
Turbo Team?
Who out there remembers Turbo Team? It was a horrible cartoon from the 80s where the kid kind of got merged with his car. And he could turn into his vehicle or he could turn into human. And every time he got his body temperature went up, he would turn into a car. And people had to throw ice on him to turn him back into a human.
That sounds really stressful.
So stupid, but it was so fun to watch. You know why it was fun to watch? Because when he was a car, he was a red Trans Am. And anything with a Trans Am, you know that I gravitate toward. It's horrible.
Professor IDK says that sounds terrible, and Beta Breathless, like, wow, a lot of people are reacting weird to that. Like, that sounds really weird.
It sounds really weird.
Yeah,
it is. It was.
It's kind of like the Hulk thing, where like Hulk's heart rate can't go up. You know where I'm going with this, with the scene in the movie where like him and Betty are like making out, and like. Yeah. He's like, wait, I'm about to Hulk out because my heart rate's going up.
I don't want to transform into a car because then we can't do this.
Yeah. Just type it up right now. It's the most disturbing thing you'll ever see.
That's really funny.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds like
type in
like Animorphs or something.
There's pictures everywhere here.
My goodness. Slevin said the 89 Batmobile is the best. Then the Batman Beyond one, which I didn't even think about, which is really cool.
Oh, that's cool too, yeah.
The Joe comment, I feel like he's influenced the chat. the animated series one from the 90s is another love from that.
That is, yes, 100%.
And then Professor IDK said, Mobile is like a car. Ha ha ha. Someone write that down. Yes, those are words of wisdom. And then Slevin said OG 87 Transformer movie Hot Rod.
Oh, yes. Hot Rod's awesome. He was one of my favorite Transformers for a while. It started off being Sideswipe, and then it evolved into being Hot Rod after seeing the Transformers 87 movie. Do you guys ever see the Transformers animated movie?
No.
Talk about the one where Optimus
That's one where
Prime
Optimus
dies?
Prime died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't watched it in its entirety.
Yeah, it's actually probably one of the best movie soundtracks for a cartoon movie I think I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you mentioned that, right? When we did Pop Culture Vehicles last time, or in the Livio interview. We interviewed
Yeah, it's
Livio
like Weird Al
Livio.
Yankovic, Stan Bush.
That's right.
Just
That's
some
right.
of the.
I think that'd be a good episode. Best soundtrack movies.
Oh yes, that'd be awesome. Back to the Future's got to be up there too.
Well, Guardians, I think, has got to be one of the top ones for sure.
Yes, that's a good one for sure too.
Yeah. I'm not going to say mine because I'm going to keep that for the episode.
Okay, we'll keep it for the real episode.
Okay.
We're not going to spoil it.
It's almost like a trailer we're doing right now. Catch it next time.
Coming up soon on Nightcap Chat.
No, I thought you were going to do it with the next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Next time on Nightcap Chat.
Do you guys ever remember any of the G.I. Joe vehicles at all?
Mm-mm.
I remember the helicopter because I had it as a kid.
The Dragonfly or which one? The big one. The
I don't know the name.
with like Lift Ticket was the pilot of it, if I remember correctly. What's that one called?
Huh. I didn't watch a lot of. Honestly, I didn't watch a lot of G.I. Joe. I had.
It's called the Eagle Hawk.
The Eagle Hawk?
Yeah. I don't know. But that one I liked.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, dude. That thing's awesome. That was the larger one that came out. Yeah, I think Lift Ticket was the pilot of that originally. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, and the Apache longbow was really cool.
Dude.
But I mean, that's just based off an actual helicopter. I don't know if it's G.I. Joe original. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of the G.I. Joe vehicles were actually either used or unused Army blueprints for the designs. Like that.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's like that. I don't know how Hasbro more or less called up the U.S. military. Hey, do you guys have any unused items we could do for toys? Do you know what I mean? Anything top secret that you guys aren't going to do because it's not efficient?
Like, can you imagine that? Like, what is the conversation that transpired? You know?
I know, exactly. Yes, my name is Joe Colton from Hasbro Incorporated in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and we wonder if we could talk to somebody in high security that can tell us what different types of blueprints that we can make into toys. First 5 times they call it, they hang up on you. This guy keeps calling.
Hey, Ken, Sammy Saturn said Astro Train is the best of both worlds and the best Transformers is Cosmos. So I looked up Astro Train. Looks like it's a Decepticon?
Yes. Yeah, he's a train, a shuttle, and a robot. They call him a triple changer.
Oh, yeah. I had to Google it because I didn't watch a lot of Transformers. It's
triple changer.
I like that he's purple.
Yeah, I know, triple changer.
It's unique.
I call that an identity crisis.
By the way, Sammy, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
That's awesome. It's a good choice.
The military subsidizes a lot of movies. Yeah, I guess I can see that. Like most Transformers movies was produced using USA military money. Is that right? Slevin says for G.I. Joe, the YF-23 Storm Eagle. Isn't that the one that's the one you guys were talking about, right?
Oh, let me see the Storm Eagle. Let me see the Storm Eagle again. There's so many G.I. Joe vehicles that came out.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like it's awesome. Like my favorite ones were the Jeeps, like the Vamp and the Vamp Mark II. Then obviously the Cobra Stinger, they were like Lamborghini looking Jeeps. I don't know if you've seen those before or not. If you look those up, they're, to me, super cool little. They're before Hummers.
Huh.
Oh, that's cool. That Storm Eagle's awesome. I forgot about that jet. That's a cool jet.
Very, very classic.
Silver.
Oh yeah, it's very. I guess classic's the word.
I think so.
It's almost a mix between like a classic jet and like a stealth bomber almost.
Yeah, it's beautiful looking plane. If you type in Cobra Stinger, those were one of my favorite vehicles to play with the G.I. Joes. It's a little two-seater Jeep looking Jeep, but they were pretty BA. They had these red missiles on the top that were just used. You'd either like choke on them, or your dog would choke on them. You would lose them. Right? Yeah, your little sibling would choke on them by accident.
All right, so I'm gonna.
But that's the best part about G.I. Joe in the '80s. Is like they had the best choking hazards. I don't know how they got past. From,
I guess because it was the '80s.
Yeah, like freaking Boba Fett's little missile that came out of his back was recalled, but nothing from G.I. Joe I know ever got recalled.
Interesting.
Because if you're playing with a G.I. Joe, you're rugged, tough.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
You're not going to choke on
playing
missiles.
with Star Wars, you're going to stuff it down your throat and you're going to choke on it.
God.
Someone in your family is going to choke. It's going to poke out your eye.
Yeah, don't let your dog eat it.
Maybe because it was like a launching mechanism, you actually had to manually take off any of the weapons. No, they had shooting projectiles off of G.I. Joe vehicles. If I remember correctly, some of them.
My helicopter I had, the missile shot out of this.
Yeah.
Move my mic which way?
And the hovercraft too.
Close to your mouth.
Oh, oop. I just knocked all of the microphones there. So I have a vehicle, and I almost hit myself for bringing it up. And that's Deadpool's scooter.
Teleporter? Oh, scooter. I was like, his teleporter belt thing?
Is
that what
little red scooter? And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because it was at the end of the 97 to 98 run, right when you were talking about with the Gail Simone stuff with Taskmaster. He had that little scooter.
Oh yes.
So
yeah, the Vespa, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason you're bringing it up. It's not because it's now in Fortnite and it's an emote and you can drive around and it's a moving emote, so you can just drive it in Fortnite.
You can drive Deadpool's scooter right now in Fortnite.
It's an emote and anyone can. Deadpool, you can use it with Deadpool skin, Psylocke skin that's now in the game, Cable skin.
Did you know this was happening in Fortnite, Ken?
Is that what's going on in Fortnite right now? Are they doing Marvel characters now?
They have
the X-Force.
They have the X-Force characters? So you have like the black and silvery outfits, like X-23?
No. Just
but there is there's a
Cable
gray and black Deadpool skin, though.
That is sick. Yeah, those were some of the best X-Men costumes that were just everybody had to look uniform, but the black and silver stealth costumes, I like to call them, were freaking awesome.
They have Cable's classic costume, which is awesome.
Nice. Man, dude, what was the Thunderhawk? That's what it was called.
Thunderhawk, you guys remember is what,
a cartoon that was Mask? You remember a cartoon called Mask? It was kind of like a mixture between like G.I. Joe and James Bond.
Huh.
Like they were all kind of like they were going against the spy organization or an evil organization called Venom, ironically. So it's very G.I. Joe because Cobra was G.I. Joe's was enemy and Masks was Venom.
I've Googled it and it looks familiar, but I don't think and now my Google.
Yeah, look up the Thunderhawk. It was a Camaro with gull wings that could fly.
That's cool.
That was a cartoon as well. If you see the one if you're looking on I guess it's a Bing search I'm looking at right now. Like it's got the second one underneath it on the first row is a cartoon cell from the cartoon.
Professor IDK says coolest Spawn's motorcycle.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure I'm even familiar with Spawn's motorcycle, and I've read some Spawn.
Yeah, the Spawn cycles. Didn't they do like a Spawn cycle McFarlane line?
I don't remember that. An obscure one I was going to bring up, and this is for Dark Phoenix here in the chat. There's an anime called Cowboy Bebop, and the ship is the Bebop, and I just sent it to Ken and Lance here. It's a really cool ship. I like a lot of Star Wars ships, but as far as like other pop culture ships go, like the Bebop is a cool ship. And you don't even have to like
is the red one?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the red one.
What about the Akira motorcycle in that case?
I mean, that's just classic.
Yeah.
Well, if
Sorry.
if we're gonna go on the anime phase, how about Trunks's teleportation?
That's pretty cool. Trunks's time machine is what you're saying.
Yeah, time machine. Yeah,
My favorite Dragon Ball Z vehicle is Frieza's ship.
Frieza ship. Yeah, I thought you'd say that.
Frieza
Ship is classic. That UFO, but
Yeah.
unique at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
nice.
so. But I do like Trunks's time machine. It's kind of like a capsule, I guess. But I think
Well, I think the coolest thing about it is the fact that it's just in a little. You know what I mean? Like you just boop, throw it and then pop. There's this huge vehicle. I think
that's most of the vehicles.
that's all the Capsule Core vehicles.
Yeah, because he's part of the family that I think made Capsule Core, right? Like it's all it's all the Trunks technology. ISO Slayer says Nimbus Cloud.
Oh yes.
mean,
I just completely forgot. Nimbus Cloud. That has to be the best.
Sammy Saturn, his floating chair or his ship? Whose floating chair or?
I think he means Frieza.
Oh.
Because he has the ship and the chair.
Yeah, I was referring to his like UFO ship, but his chair is cool. I mean, it's like the Segway of the galaxy, right? You just you sit on it and you can go around. It was like Segways before Segways, right?
Nice.
Kind of.
So it's almost like Aladdin's flying carpet.
Is that the best Disney mode of transportation?
Best Disney mode. I mean, what beats that?
The
Flying
Black
carpet?
Pearl, because it's a pirate ship.
Okay.
Disney.
Come on,
I have to. I'm going through so many things. Like you said, Disney. Like you know, how many
Well,
things.
come on. If
go
you go
through?
Disney, can't you go Herbie from Herbie the Love Bug?
Yeah, you can. You definitely can. Sloven says Tron Light Cycle.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's
a good
really
one.
cool.
That's bad.
That's a good point. Stitch's spaceship. Yep, that's true too.
Yeah.
That's true. Or how about?
I like the Black Pearl because if you've been to Disneyland, like you're on the Pirates ride, like it's a really cool ride, and like they successfully adapted this to a movie here. I don't know, just the pirate thing is cool. Like for me personally, the surfboard from Treasure Planet. I didn't even think about that.
Huh. What about the DeLorean from Back to the Future?
Is that Disney?
Is it
That's true.
Disney?
It's not Disney. It's Fox.
Oh, it's not
Right?
Disney.
But-
It's not Disney.
But it's still.
Because,
It's still.
hey, no, yeah, it is
still
Disney.
good.
Because doesn't Fox own Back to the Future?
Well, now they do, right?
So now it's Disney.
Now it's Disney.
So we may see Back to the Future movies again. Or is that something you just be left alone? It is what it is.
Shouldn't they have
I
left
think-
it alone like after the first one?
I know. It's been a cartoon. It's been a comic now. It's been all kinds of craziness.
Back to the Future is Universal. Treasure Planet all day.
Oh, it's Universal. It's not even Fox, is it? Universal Studios. You're right.
Yeah, and they're fighting.
My apologies.
They're fighting
Yeah.
with over the Hulk stuff right now, so that won't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
How about Buzz Lightyear's little cardboard ship?
I was gonna say Buzz Lightyear. Period.
Oh, because he has wings.
Yeah.
Well, he falls with
He's a
style.
transformer.
Right?
Mm,
It's a transformer. Yeah.
gotcha.
Planet Express ship. Yes. Planet Express ship.
Planet.
Planet
No.
Express.
Pizza Planet.
Pizza Planet. Yeah, I knew
Planet.
I knew what you meant. Yeah, Pizza Planet. The Pizza Planet. Yeah, that is awesome.
You are clear to enter. Welcome to Pizza Planet. ISO Slayer said, Magic School Bus is the best. Changed my mind. That's
Magic School Bus.
Yeah, that's hard to argue with.
It is hard to argue with. I mean, you're like Ant-Man in a bus.
Yeah, exactly.
Shrink down. You can go to outer space. You do all these different things.
And Baited Breath says, Pizza Planet car. In Toy Story is the pizza delivery car.
What about the Deadpool taco truck?
No. See, that's the kind of stuff I was talking about. Like, it's just silly. Oh my gosh. No.
Why does Deadpool need a taco truck? Right?
No.
I think Deadly Leaf has a good point, though. Yoshi. I mean, how do you beat Yoshi?
Oh,
well, in that case, how about Mario Karts?
Ooh. All of the Mario Karts.
Yeah.
Especially the
Which
later
Mario
Karts.
Yeah, the later ones are good.
In the later ones, there's one that's like a teddy bear. I like the teddy bear one. That's my favorite Mario Kart cart. It's like a little, I think it's a blue teddy bear. And if you don't know what it is, look it up. That is the best Mario Kart cart. If that's the word for it.
Yoshi had one in Double Dash that I loved, and I don't know. I think it was just a regular one.
Can you imagine if they didn't make Yoshi a playable character, but they made Yoshi one of the carts? Slevin said James's Giant Peach. I never saw it. Like I have such a fear of claymation. I don't watch things like that.
I can't do claymation either.
But I know what you're talking about from the trailers. Magic School Bus uses the power of imagination, and there is no limit to its power.
So does that mean, ISO, that you will limit it and it won't be useful? Because I know you're incapable of imagining. So is it just a basic school bus for you? Is that what you want? A basic school bus?
Unfollowed. So for those of you listening who don't understand what he's referring to, he knows ISO Slayer, and he has talked about how he cannot see things within his mind's eye, if you will.
Yes.
Magic School Bus. What was claymation? Yeah, James and the Giant Peach was claymation. I'm pretty sure. Wasn't it? It was a Tim Burton thing, wasn't it? No, Miss Frizzle, no lizard.
Nobody's brought up Gundams yet either, have they?
I wasn't a fan of Gundam. I couldn't get into it.
You know what I liked more than Gundam?
Is what?
Big O.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, you remember that? That was on Toonami.
Wow.
You're
making me
James
totally forget one of
Bond.
my favorite vehicles of all time.
Right.
The Voltron Lions.
Oh. Yeah.
Because those are vehicles that form a robot, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. A whole new world.
Which brings me to something I have right over here, over my shoulder, is the Power Ranger Zords.
Yes, Power Rangers, same thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, the Dragon Zord. I'm gonna grab it for the people on Twitch here. Like, carry on, talk amongst yourselves. You know, talk Barbara Streisand.
Yes, dude.
Triceratops.
That's so awesome.
All right. I know these people on iTunes are going to appreciate this as much, but I mean, how cool is the Dragon Zord? It was the Green Ranger Zord. Right?
I mean, it's pretty awesome.
I mean,
nice.
I don't know. When this came out, like, you know, it was going down, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like, you can imagine all the
it was hitting the fan, you know? I mean, even though it moved really spastically, like, oh, yes, I'm clearly a person in a suit that I can barely move, you know?
Okay, I missed a few. We missed a few. Zoids, all of them. Stop motion, no clay. Yes, Voltron, Sled 7. We got some Voltron fans listening here. Beta said Lightning McQueen. And as Slevin said, lions are better than cars. Which I can't argue with that. You can't 100%. Get inside Lightning McQueen. Has that been proven though? Oh, Ken, we see you.
Here we go. I don't know.
What is that? Is that Kit?
It is Kit.
Ken has brought up Kit.
He needs a car wash. It's a little bit dusty. It's supposed to be an ionic bondage shell.
Can you?
Which is by far the best vehicle of all time. Knight Rider Kit. Where is his light source here? He needs batteries.
All right, we put you back on chat. Go ahead and show chat one more time.
All right, let's go another round.
Is that also Kit?
Yes. We have multiple Kits.
Okay. I knew you liked Kit.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. There's something about black Trans Ams that are just super cool.
Absolutely.
C2 like that.
They're nice. They have a classic look.
Yes.
I know he is. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I said too. It's like that. Geeking out. Let me go back to just the microphone. You guys have seen enough of Kit. There's Kit. in all of his beauty. See, if you look at the back there, it's definitely got the Knight license plate, which it should have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the best part about Knight Riders is if he's ever being chased, he can change his license plate number right there for you. So that
that's
cool. That's really cool.
Well, now, even though this is still a black Trans Am, I'm going to stop chasing you because this license plate is different.
Woo! Now I can go back to being Kit again. I'm out of here. There.
Benny the Taxi and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's
nice.
That's a good one. That's another Disneyland ride. Sammy Saturn says Mecha Godzilla, which I wasn't sure you could even ride Mecha Godzilla. Slevin, White Tiger Zord, another great Tommy Oliver Zord. Deadly Leaf said her group chat at work is called Megazord, which
that's awesome.
That's hysterical.
Here.
Okay, here's a pop culture vehicle that I didn't think we'd even talk about from bated breath. The Polar Express.
Oh, nice. That works. That's a vehicle.
Was not a fan of that movie. I have to be honest.
I have to agree with that.
The House and Up final answer. No, that movie was so depressing. It ruined my weekend.
It ruined a weekend.
It ruined my weekend. It's so depressing. It's so depressing.
It's really depressing. Yeah, it is.
I was just like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? What is my purpose? Like, oh my gosh. That's why it wins play. Okay, Deadly Leaf said Thomas the Train. I don't think you can write Thomas the Train, though.
Yeah, I don't think he's just a sentient train.
He's a sentient train. Yes, that's like Mjolnir. Oh man. Wow. Speaking of trains, like this particular episode really went off the rails a few times.
Yeah, it did.
But no, this was great, and we love the participation here. But my goodness,
Finally,
yes. Yeah, those were some pop culture vehicles. Oh, what is that?
Okay, so apparently they ride the trains in the series. So before we get off here, I guess we were wrong. People do ride the trains. Up.
All right, Ken popped back on video here, and Kit is lighting up, right? That's Kit, right?
Yes, Kit is got this one. Like it seemed like every single toy, whether the battery works or not, still had a light for the front sensor, so Kit could actually see where he was going.
Wow.
God forbid he needs his headlight. He just needs that red light as a sensor. Which was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. And that's a little bonus for the people in the Twitch chat here.
Yeah, this was the Joyrides edition of it. Pretty awesome stuff. Oh, well. A second geek out for Knight Rider for what? Going 14, 15 hours? It's pretty absurd.
My goodness.
I'll leave that for you guys.
That's the fun thing about doing this with a little video. Like we can do.
Yeah,
like
sorry about
like
the
this.
bad hair day. It's a Sunday.
Hey, no, it's a quarantine day. You know,
yes.
I think
every day Sunday, Saturday.
We're all allowed.
Exactly.
You know? They ride the trains in the series. I guess I don't remember that. They wall that train up. I remember that, and they participate in trains. Joe said the wrong train because he wanted to scratch his paint. Okay, I didn't realize they rode the trains in Thomas the Train. But yeah, I mean, this went off the rails so much. I think this was a good topic.
Yeah, I apologize. It was Hollywood Rise from Jada. That last one was.
No, this is fantastic.
I believe is still available in stores.
Can you hear us?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I can hear you guys.
Okay,
I was
cool.
mostly listening, but I felt like I was a little bit.
I was just trying to get you to plug it if you had it. But yeah, I mean, like this was even longer than we even anticipated here. There's so many vehicles. I mean, we can literally talk about this all day and maybe even do another episode. Or not vehicles, modes of transportation.
Oh, dude, this could be bigger than Star Wars, dude. we could have like 3 trilogies out of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, and we didn't even mention, like, you know, Nazguls or Eagles. I'll stop.
I have all my Lord of the Rings stuff here. I don't even think you guys can see it. Oh, where is it? Yep,
wrong way.
Sauron helmet. Oh, did I go the wrong way?
No, you get the Sauron helmet. Yeah, I thought you were trying to go that way.
There's my wizard staffs. I was trying to get my sword, but I think my sound booth is blocking it. Now that I screwed up my webcam. But thank you all so much who have joined us here today in Twitch or on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, Podbean. If you're listening to this after the live recording, and thank you all for participating. And you guys made this so much more fun than if it was even just us by ourselves, you know. And that's why we always want this to be an open, engaging conversation. So thank you all so much for being here. You know, we are on iTunes, Google Play, as you see. We're at Nightcap Chat on Facebook and Twitter, and at Nightcap_chat on Instagram. You consider giving us a follow, leave a review, whatever you like. We have new episodes every Tuesday evening. And you can find more of my work as a voice actor on Steam. Latest games are The Reversion Chapter 3, now available on Steam and itch.io. And you can wishlist a game called Pause and Soul on Steam right now. It's due out this quarter in 2020. I have a little small part in there, but it seems like a lot of fun for this game. A little Russian developer is creating it. It's a really interesting concept where you're this like incarnated wolf spirit kind of a thing. It's interesting. Go check that out. It's right now on Steam. Ken, a little bit about Drawn to Comics.
Yeah, we're Drawn to Comics. We, located in downtown Glendale, Arizona. We are on a temporary closure, just like everybody else in America. We're doing stuff through eBay, through Drawn to Comics, and you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And we thank you for all your support, you guys, and hope you guys are all being safe and healthy out there.
Yeah, so you guys, please, we do this podcast out once a week. We're on episode number 50 now. So for those of you out there who are your first time listening, go check it out. The links below, wherever you're listening to Nightcap Chat. Go listen to some of our episodes. I know you'll have a blast. If you had fun here today, you're going to have a blast listening to all of our episodes. And you probably have plenty of time. There's a lot of time. Everyone has a lot of time on their hands right now. But after this, once we're done with this, we're also going to be playing a little more Animal Crossing tonight. We're tarantula hunt. So stick around for that too.
Yes. And for those of you listening on iTunes, we are doing this podcast live on Tales of Lance with a TALES. That's twitch.tv/Tales of Lance. For those of you who missed out on it, if you're interested in gaming, give that a follow. But we appreciate you all taking the time to listen and making us part of your weekly routines here. And we will catch you all next week.
Have a good week, guys.